Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. My name is Gordy, and I was just wondering, do you know which of these colors was dubbed the ugliest color in the world? Give me 5 minutes, I bet you can work this into a conversation today, and like and subscribe so you can keep up, because I do this every single day. Pantone 448C, that's the name of this shade. A murky mix of green, brown, and gray, and to me it just looks kind of like an ambivalent color. Like, to me, it's just like frustratingly on the precipice of becoming a lot of different colors, but it's refusing to realize its potential. It's like the chromatic equivalent of a drawer that's been left open a tiny bit, and you just feel like you would feel very satisfying to close it entirely. It just needs to make up its mind. That's what I think of it. But designers describe it as olive, drab, dirty, even tar. But in 2012, it earned a much harsher title. The ugliest color in the world. Is my shirt close to this color? I don't know. I'll have to see how it turns out on video. But the decision came out of a public health campaign in Australia. The government had already mandated plain cigarette packaging. No logos, no glossy finishes, just big health warnings and a standard font. But they wanted to take it a little further. What if the pack itself could be made as unappealing as possible? They hired researchers to run focus groups with more than 1,000 smokers, asking which color looked the least attractive, least fashionable, least likely to trigger a craving. Over and over, Pantone 448C rose or sank to the bottom. Participants linked it with tar, death, filth, even rotting. In other words, it was perfect. So, beginning in 2012, every cigarette pack in Australia was rebranded with Pantone 448C as the color, and graphic health warnings slapped across the front. And tobacco companies hated it, not only because their branding was erased, but because it actually worked. Studies found that smokers viewed the packs as less appealing, believed the cigarettes inside tasted worse, and were more likely to think about quitting. Smoking rates declined, though who really knows how much of that is actually packaging color versus global trends, education, and the gross-ass pics that they put on the packaging. Regardless, the strategy caught on. By 2016, the UK and France had rolled out the same policy, followed by Ireland, New Zealand, Norway, and others. The World Health Organization praised plain packaging as a global best practice, and Pantone 448C became the unlikely star of a worldwide public health movement. Not everyone was happy with the nickname ugliest color. I saw that the Australian Department of Health initially referred to it as olive green, but the name was changed after concerns were expressed by the Australian Olive Association. Pantone never promoted it as the ugliest color, and it has since been unofficially called opaque couche, like layered opaque. Color experts argued that no, hue is inherently bad, though. And that really, when I read that, I was like, color experts. Like 4-year-olds? In design, a color's impact depends on... I need a laugh track for myself. In design, a color's impact depends on context. The same brownish green that makes people think of tar on a cigarette pack can read as earthy in camouflage, industrial in uniforms, or even chic when paired with maybe metallics in fashion. You know, maybe it's really the cigarettes that are bringing down the color. So why did 448C hit such a nerve in those surveys? Well, part of it is cultural baggage. In Western contexts, it resembles decay, dirt, and sickness, but part of it might be evolutionary as well. Humans are wired to steer clear of cues that signal danger: rotting plants, spoiled food, stagnant water. Our ancestors survived by avoiding those shades, and that instinct still lingers in our perception today. So, there you have it. The ugliest color in the world became one of the most effective colors in public health. Tobacco companies spent decades perfecting glossy branding to make smoking glamorous. A muddy swatch of greenish-brown helped undo it, turning the cigarette pack into an object of revulsion. Some health advocates even suggest extending the trick to junk food packaging. Pantone 448C might be an eyesore, but it's also probably saving some lives, so... good job, Pantone 448C. And what is your least favorite color, and what do you think of Pantone 448C? Let me know in the comments. Is my shirt Pantone 448C? It's something I'm realizing now just when I'm recording, but I haven't really been able to stop and look at it, so don't smoke me. Check out my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Give me a comment, rate, like, share this with someone, subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate all of that. Go check out the short version I do of all these. Across social media platforms, you can find me at Smartest Year Ever for that condensed clip. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. I'll see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever.